Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Dr. Harshada. So in today's video of ECG Made Easy Part 2, we are going to see 5 important topics. The first is introduction to terminologies. The second we are going to see electrocardiographic grid. The third part we are going to see waves of normal ECG. Fourth is causes of graphical representation, and the last part is duration and amplitude. So now let's see one by one.
Introduction to 3 terminologies. The first terminology here is electrocardiography. Electrocardiography is a technique by which the electrical activities of the heart are studied. So what are these electrical activities? They are the impulses that are generated by the conductive system of heart, that is SA node, AV node, due to which the cardiac muscles goes into action of contraction and relaxation. I have already made a detailed video on the conductive system of heart. If you haven't seen that, please go and have a look so that it will be very easy for you to understand this. So what happens when this impulse gets generated by the conductive system of heart? In very low intensity, the current keeps on flowing all through our body. This current can be easily picked up from the surface of the body with the help of specific type of electrode, which are commonly known as ECG lead, and it is then recorded in the form of electrocardiogram, that is the ECG. So here comes our second terminology, that is electrocardiogram, which is commonly abbreviated as ECG or EKG, because in Dutch cardio is written as KARDIO, so EKG. So ECG, it is a record or graphical registration of electrical activity of all the cardiac muscles recorded from the surface of the body. One more terminology here is electrocardiograph. Electrocardiograph is an instrument or the machine which actually amplifies the signals of the heart and record this signal on the ECG paper. So we have 3 terminology: electrocardiography, which is the technique; electrocardiogram, which is the record or the graphical representation; and the third part is electrocardiograph, which is the instrument or the machine. Electrocardiographic grid. Electrocardiographic grid refer to the markings and the lines that are present on ECG paper. ECG paper has multiple horizontal and vertical line at regular interval of 1 mm. Every fifth line, whether it is horizontal or vertical, is thickened. So one big box is 5 into 5 in measurement. So as in any other graph, on x-axis we have time or duration, unit is second, and on y-axis here we have amplitude, the intensity at which the electrode, the ECG lead, are receiving the signals from the heart is measured here on y-axis, and the unit of amplitude is millivolt. Here the small box on x-axis, where 1 mm is equals to 0.04 second. So in total, in a big box we have 5 small boxes, right? So 0.04 into 5, which comes to 0.20 seconds. On y-axis, 1 mm is simple 0.1 millivolt. So in total it is 0.5 millivolt. Waves of normal ECG. So first of all, in normal ECG we have isoelectric line which serves as a baseline. Waves which are present above this isoelectric line are positive in nature, and the waves which go below this isoelectric line are said to be negative in nature. So we have P wave, which is positive in nature, negative Q wave, positive R wave, a negative S wave, and again a positive T wave. Some ECG sometimes shows a small U wave. Then we have PR interval, which is from the onset of P wave to the onset of Q wave. Then we have QT interval, which is from the onset of Q wave to the end of T wave. Then there is one segment, which is from the end of S wave to the onset of T wave, that is ST segment. So to make it simple, a normal ECG have two waves, two interval, one complex and one segment. So the two waves are P and T. Two interval are PR and QT interval. Then one complex is QRS complex and the segment is ST segment. So now coming to the second last and the most important part of this video, that is what does this waves and interval of ECG actually represents. So to make it simple, I have written down about the waves and segments in the sequential form, that is P wave, then we have PR interval, then QRS complex, ST segment, T wave, and lastly we are going to see about QT interval. So now let's get started. The P wave represents atrial depolarization. See, in ECG we have two terminologies, depolarization and repolarization. So how to remember it? See, cardiac muscles show two activities. One is contraction and other is relaxation. Right? So our atria get contract, atria get relax, ventricles get contract, ventricles get relax. So repolarization begins with R and relaxations begin with R. So repolarization corresponds to relaxation of ventricles, depolarization corresponds to the contraction of ventricles. So the term depolarization is used as in corresponds to the contraction and repolarization in corresponds to relaxation. Okay, so when atrial depolarization is going on, actually atrias are getting contracted. Then coming on to PR interval, it also represents atrial depolarization. Now the blood from atrias are going into the respective ventricles. QRS complex. QRS complex show ventricular depolarization. So during QRS complex, ventricles are getting contracted and the blood from ventricles are going to the lungs from right ventricle and to the left ventricle. It is supplying to all part of the body. Then we have ST segment. It is isoelectric. What does that mean? It is just a time interval between ventricular depolarization and ventricular repolarization. So the T wave shows ventricular repolarization. That is, ventricles are getting relaxed. And lastly, we have QT interval. So QT interval is from onset of Q wave to the end of T wave, which consists of ventricular depolarization and ventricular repolarization. So QT wave in all shows all electrical activity of ventricles. So now let's see what does this wave and interval corresponds to the conductive system of heart. Impulse get generated from SA node and it is spread all across the atria and also to AV node, which leads to the contraction of atria and atria get depolarized. So P wave represents SA node. PR interval represents conduction through AV node. From AV node, impulse travel to bundle of His. From bundle of His, the impulse first travel to the interventricular septum, which give rise to Q wave. So Q wave represents impulse to interventricular septum. Then from bundle of His, impulse travel to right and left bundle branches, and it give a rise to a positive R wave. And lastly, the impulse get travel through the Purkinje fiber, which are spread all over the ventricular myocardium. So here it give a rise to S wave. Here the question arises why we get a negative Q and S wave. For that we need to understand about cardiac vector. What is cardiac vector? It is the direction at which the current is flowing for that instant. So for now, the current is moving from SA node to AV node, then to the bundle of His and then to the Purkinje fiber. So the direction is downward and slightly towards the left. So when current moves from SA node to AV node, it is in the direction of cardiac vector. So we get a positive P wave. But what happened when from bundle of His the current first moved to the interventricular septum, base of interventricular septum? It is parallel to the cardiac vector but in the opposite direction of cardiac vector. So we get a negative Q wave. Then the impulse moves from bundle of His to bundle branches parallel to the cardiac vector in the same direction. So we get a positive R wave. Then from apex of heart, it again moves to the Purkinje fiber all over the ventricular myocardium parallel to the cardiac vector but in the opposite direction of cardiac vector, and so we get a negative S wave. So this is the reason we get a negative Q and S wave, as the impulse there move in the opposite direction of cardiac vector. Duration and amplitude. So duration and amplitude is utmost important to know while reading ECG, because in pathological condition this duration and amplitude get varies. So to correctly diagnose the abnormal, we first need to know what is normal. So to make it simple, we have again written in the sequel form P wave, PR interval, QRS complex, ST segment, T wave and QT interval. So first let's see what are the duration. P wave is 0.1, then PR is 0.18, then QRS complex is 0.08, ST segment is same 0.08, T wave is big, so it is 0.2, and QT segment is 0.4. So now let's see the amplitude of the waves. As we have previously discussed, on y-axis, one small box is 0.1 millivolt. So P wave is 0.1. PR interval lies on the isoelectric line, so it does not have any amplitude. Then we have Q wave, R wave and S wave. Q wave is again 0.1, but it is negative, that is below the isoelectric line. Then we have R wave. As R wave is the longest wave, it is 1, and S wave is 0.4, which is again negative. Then we have ST segment, again a isoelectric. T wave is 0.3. So the amplitude is 0.1, 0.1, 1, 0.4 and 0.3. So here I have tried to make an exact graphical representation of normal ECG. So let's see the amplitude. So the P wave we have 0.1. So a small box is 0.1. So this is P wave. Then Q wave is going negative 0.1. Then R wave, the amplitude is 1. So a big box is 0.5 and then 0.5, that is 0.1. So R wave is reaching at 1. Then S wave is 0.4. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. So here is an R wave. And then T wave is 0.3. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. And here is a T wave. Similarly, it is with the duration.
So this is all about today's video. So my today's question is, who is known as father of electrocardiogram? Do let me know your answer in the comment section. Also to follow me on my Instagram page bhc_0315, where I keep on posting about latest medical update and clinical tips. If you find this video helpful, do share it with your friends. See you in the next video. Till then, let's keep learning. Thank you.